A 1 p.m. matchup inside Ford Field turned into one of the most entertaining games of the NFL season so far. Detroit never led in regulation, and the Lions get the comeback win in overtime over the New York Giants. Final from Detroit, 34-27. Welcome into the Detroit Lions Live postgame show presented by Curado Insurance. Alongside the Super Bowl champ and former offensive lineman Lomas Brown, I'm Dannie Rogers. Lions tied the game with a 59-yard field goal from Jake Bates in the fourth quarter. And then untouched, Jamir Gibbs runs 69 yards to the house. That was the end of the game. That sealed the deal, and it was a big win, gritty win for Detroit.
Danny, I like what you said, a gritty win. And sometimes you have to have those throughout the season. Look, a desperate New York Giant team came in here at 2-9, and they fought. You have to give them a lot of credit. They fought to the end, but we found a way to pull it out. And like you say, the explosive, the entertaining Jamir Gibbs, first play in overtime, takes it 69 yards to rejuvenate this crowd, and the defense closed it out against Jameis Winston and those New York Giants. So just a great win for the Lions to push us to 7 wins on the season and keep us right in the thick of things for this playoff push.
Through 4 frames, Detroit could not get to Jameis Winston one time. They brought the pressure, but they couldn't finish the job. Then in steps Aiden Hutchinson in overtime. Giants trying to tie this ball game, and his 4th down sack ends this one, and Lions survive in week 12.
Like they say, Danny, better late than never. So again, it took to the end of the game. Heck, it took to overtime before we were able to get to Jamison, but no bigger play than Aiden Hutchinson closing this game out. And again, just a gritty effort on the part of our team to fight through a lot of adversity, Jamie. Danny, we didn't play as well as we should have played or could have played, but those guys found a way to hang in there with that New York Giants team and, like I say, pull out a victory in overtime.
In the fourth quarter, kicker Jake Bates was staring down the barrel of a 59-yard field goal. If he made that, it would be his career high, and he sent it through the uprights. It was close, but it made it through, and that's what tied this ball game and sent it to overtime. Our Anthony Bellino, in-stadium host here inside Ford Field, caught up with Bates and his historical day.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're down here on the field right now with the man who kicked that game-winning field goal himself, number 39, Jake Bates. And Jake, take the fans that are still here right now, take them through what it's like as you're getting lined up 59 yards away to send this thing into overtime.
Yeah, I think I owed this team one, and it's just awesome to see how we fought back, and they got us in range, and it was time for me to do my job, and I'm glad to see that ball came back left a little bit and went in.
Now you guys had a couple in a row on the road, and this is the first of 3 here at home inside Ford Field, man. What was it like to be back inside the building? Man, it was rowdy. It was fun. This is the best place to play in the NFL, and so we never take it for granted. I have so much gratitude in my heart for everyone out here. The Lord has really placed me in such a special city with special fans and a great organization, and I couldn't be more thankful. Perfect on your extra points, 4 for 4. Perfect on the field goals, 2 for 2, including the one that sent it into overtime. And just this game in general, man, what did this one mean for you guys having to claw back into this one? Yeah, I think that shows who we are. We're going to be gritty no matter what. We're never out of the fight. I think that stems from the top down. Just the never say die attitude. And man, like I said, I'm just so thankful to be here. Let's hear it for him, ladies and gentlemen. Number 39, Jake Bates.
Jake Bates now 5 of 5 on either game-winning or game-tying fourth quarter field goals. So if you need a man in a high-pressure situation, send Bates in. He'll get the job done. Head coach Dan Campbell is now standing by at the podium. Let's hear from him.
Give credit to that team, man. They, they played hard, threw the kitchen sink at us, but we knew they would. I mean, that's what the tape said. So good luck, Preston. See. There you go, buddy. Good luck. Man, I'm proud of the guys. I mean, we hung in there. We fought. You felt like the next series was going to be the one that we were going to get the upper hand, and we did. You know, it's not easy to hang in a game like that where there's things that aren't going perfect. But at the end of the day, when we need it most, man, guys showed up. You know, Goff showed up, St. Brown showed up, Hutch showed up, Gibbs showed up, O-line, D-line. Man, our coverage aspect, rocking those guys, getting Reed back. Anyway, it was just, man, it wasn't perfect. There are things to clean up, certainly. Came down to the wire, had to win in overtime, but I'll take that win. That's a good win.
What can you say about Gibbs, just the impact that he has week after week and big play after big play, Dan?
He's electric. He's electric, you know, and he's a game changer. No, I'm going to give credit to that O-line because I thought they really dug in today and did a good job. And receivers, as always, you know, you don't get those knockout runs unless your receivers are blocking. But Gibbs, he's electric, and man, when he found a crease, he was going to the house. This was not about first downs and, you know, picking up a few yards or explode. I mean, this guy's going to the house, and he's got the juice to make it happen. He's got vision. He's a difference maker. So he was, I mean, he bailed us out today in a big way.
Overtime run specifically, like what's just going through your mind the second you see him find a little bit of a crease like
He's gone. You know, and really that's why you're hoping it's like, all right, man, he finds a crease here. And sure enough, he did. And it was well blocked, and it didn't take much for him. You get a hat on a hat, and he's going to find it, and then he's got home run speed. So it's a good job all the way around hanging in there. You know, there again, good win. It's a good win. It's not perfect, but listen, we'll take it.
Is that going to be
coming up clutch? Jake Bates with the field goal. You know, obviously
yeah, big kick. That was a big kick. That was big time. You know, and I mean, you know, and for him, he's there again. Man, he's clutch. I mean, he just when we need him most, he goes out there and he makes the kick for us. You know, that's not an easy kick. I mean, I don't know what that was, 60 yards, somewhere in there. So. But to have to go out there and ensure that we're able to get this in overtime, that's a big kick, man. And it took a lot of our guys making big time plays in critical moments, you know. And for some of the things that didn't go well, those were the things that did go right, and that's what wins in this league.
What did you take us inside the headset in overtime? And basically, was it going to be Gibbs all day? Was it going to end with Gibbs in your mind that drive?
It was going to be him somewhere in there. For sure. I wanted to lean on him, but I was going back and forth on who exactly we may start with, you know. But I had a good feeling, I think we all did, about Gibbs. You know, you could feel it today, and we were blocking him pretty good. It was a good job, and he finished it.
Times, you know, guys coming up big. I mean, maybe it wasn't the cleanest game start to finish, but when you needed it, your biggest players, your most important players came up with big-time plays. What does that say about your team and about those guys? That moment comes and they deliver.
Well, I mean, that's our guys, right? I mean, that's the core of our group here. That's why we have the guys that we have, because they are resilient. And even when we're off just a little bit, you know, when we need it most, those guys can resort back to their training, man, just stay in the moment, and man, you're about to get my best rep, you know, and it's competitive, and they believe they can will it to happen, and they make plays, man, and no different than what Hutch did there at the end of the game. That was a huge fourth down when we needed it. So that's our guys, man. I trust our guys.
Giants gave up some passing plays in the game, but came up big there at the end in regulation to give Bates a chance there, and then obviously in overtime too. Just talk about the effort there on those two series specifically to give you guys a chance, even though maybe it wasn't their perfect day.
Yeah, well, number one, the protection was good, man. Those guys up front did a heck of a job, you know, and gave Goff a minute to see it. And then just his procedure in 2 minutes I thought was great. He did a really good job. And there again, guys made plays, man. They stepped up. We made plays, got ourselves in position. We would like to finish that without it going in overtime if we could. You know, we'd like to try to get in position where we score a touchdown, but didn't quite get there fast enough. That's all right, man. You do what you got to do with the time that you're given or what you got left, and then Bates finished it out for us. But it was good. You know, those guys were on the same page. Saint made some big plays for us, and there again, Goff, he ran the show. You know.
Defense coming up with a few stops there in overtime and in the end there to be huge for you guys.
Yeah, I mean, big time. You know, what they were able to do. I mean, that stop before we got the ball back was huge, you know, down there in the red zone. I mean, that was huge. You know, that's what gave us a chance. I already had to use 2 of my timeouts. And so you don't want to say it's over, but it becomes very, very difficult. You got to score in a hurry, and you got to get an onside kick. Whereas that changed the whole game with that stop. So defense once again stepped up for us. And look, there's things we can clean up. I know that, but there was a number of things that we got thrown our way that we adjusted to. We got hit on. They're not always going to all be that way, but there again, when we needed it most, man, those guys stepped up.
After the 2-minute drill, can you explain what happened after the spike that led to the timeout?
Yeah, so just, man, the headset communicate. I don't know what happened with that. You know, to be honest with you, I just know I couldn't get to him. So I don't know if something happened. I don't know. You know, the procedure of what goes on from me to him to it was just one of those oddball weird deals where thank God it didn't cost us to where I had to use it.
Were you relieved they didn't get the field goal there late in regulation?
Was I relieved? Well, I think the big thing was we couldn't give up a touchdown, you know, for sure, because as long as we could keep it within 1 score, you're good to go. But yeah, I mean, I'll take anything I can get. We thought they would probably go for it. I mean, he went for it a number of times. He did that with Green Bay last week too, and that was a big stop. So. Look, anything's going to help. Any 4th down stop, I'm going to feel good, right? And you're going to feel relieved. You feel better, you know, because certainly you don't have to go the distance anymore. You're trying to win the game, but you're just trying to get in position where you can at least tie it and go finish it in overtime.
The big plays that they hit, why were they just able to hit some of those explosives so consistently?
Well, there again, there was a number of gadgets they threw at us that got us. Some of it, man, he was able to kind of worm his way out of there, and that's what Winston does, man. He's pretty strong, and he was able to kind of get out of there, and then all of a sudden, man, it's on, and the play gets really, really long. A couple of those, we had a couple of guys run into each other, and you got receivers running downfield, and Winston's going to throw it out there now. He's just going to lay it up. Some of it, we were a little more pressure than we have in areas, and so now you're a little bit, you can be a little bit bare on the back end. You got to get to him, and we weren't able to quite get to him fast enough in some things, and so now you're getting strung out on the back end. And look, I thought Winston played an outstanding game. I thought he played a really, really big-time game, you know, and made a ton of throws, and, you know, and that's what he's capable of. That's what he can do. I thought he played out of his mind. So, you know, there again, there's things we can clean up, but you're not always going to see that every week or get that every week. And those guys, boy, they came in to win this game. And we knew they would. They came in fighting, you know. Credit those guys. Credit Captain.
The field position battle today, you guys, I don't know how many times they were pinned inside their 20 on punts, and then Khalif had that big return just before halftime that kind of helped you get some points there.
Big time. Fox was outstanding today. I know there was 4 inside the 20. I don't know how many he had inside the 10. I mean, there had to have been, to your point, I mean, they're back there, backed up. That was going to need to be big for us, you know, because we knew those guys were going to lean on the run game. I mean, they almost ran it 40 times. We knew they would. They did it last week. And so I just thought Fox, man, was big time today. He did. He pinned them, and, you know, your defense runs out there and you're backed up. That gives you, you know, it's a pretty good feeling. So it was big for us, the field position. We weren't always able to capitalize, but we were able to enough to win this game.
Dan, you've had several of these kind of wins over the last few years, but not really this season. What can it do for you? Because it feels like it's been part of your identity, you know, in a way.
Yeah, you never know what these can do, you know, and sometimes it's just important to remind yourself of what we're all capable of, even when the chips are down and things get hard. You know, you don't ever forget how to dig in one more time and find a way to lean on each other and do your job. And anytime you can get a win like this, it's a good thing. It's a good thing. Because that very easily a number of times could have gone the other way. And we all know it. But it didn't. It didn't. We made the plays we had to make.
Guys, we'll have Jamir and Jared in here next. Thanks, man.
Guys, your prior success has put you at the top of the power rankings list. That's a good thing, right?
Well, just means you've gone from the underdog to the favorite.
But those expectations come from prior success, so that's okay.
What about Cure? Where do you guys rank on the power list?
Actually, we just got named by Forbes as one of the best car insurance companies in America.
Now you're the favorite.
Guess we have a lot in common.
Go Cure.
Go Lions.
Cure Auto Insurance. Drive well.
Detroit Lions Live is brought to you by Cure Auto Insurance. Log on to cure.com to see how you can save. Welcome back. There is no question who the player of the game is today. It's running back Jamir Gibbs, who just kept injecting this offense with energy in the second quarter, right before the half. Then in the fourth quarter with another touchdown, and then the go-ahead TD in overtime. That was his first touchdown of the day. A catch over the pylon. He made it look so easy. This man is bad. He hits seams with precision and has incredible balance. That's why he's running the entire length of the field, Lomas.
And Danny, once he get out in the open, he is gone. There's no one that's going to catch Jamir Gibbs. He is such an explosive weapon for us. And, I talk about, you talked about his balance, you talked about all that, but his vision, the setup blocks, to find the blocks, to get to him. And like I say, once you get him out in green field, he is going to eat it up. He is our most explosive weapon, and he's a guy that we could count on game in and game out to get us big plays. 219 rushing yards. Closing in on the little fella, the little big fella that I blocked for. But it's just exciting to see him out there. 3 total touchdowns. It was just a great performance from Jamir Gibbs.
He is really special.
Yes.
Those 219 yards on the ground, his career high. 264 scrimmage yards, including the receiving yards in that one with 45. That's also a franchise record for running backs in Detroit. So you talk about the little guy, Barry Sanders. There was a different little guy that is on his heels.
You're right. I like that. And look, I love the way, 11 catches? Again, he's a target for Jared Goff. He's probably that fill-in that we needed for Sam Laporta because, again, Jared has a security blanket that he can go to. So it's just so exciting to see what he's been able to do in this first couple of years here. And it's going to be even more exciting to see what he has for us in the future.
Gibbs touched the football 26 times today, and every single time was very, very important. Gibbs is standing by at the podium. Let's hear from him.
Can we just start with the 69-yard rushing touchdown in overtime? What did you see, and at what point did you realize that nobody was going to catch you?
They brought pressure into the run, so I think who picked it up? Like Brock and Saint were on the right side. Everybody just did a great job picking it up like it was nothing, and after that it was just so, yeah.
About your mentality today, it seemed like you was aggressive, from the time the game started. Just how much did you feel like you need to carry the team today with your attack?
I wasn't really thinking about carrying the team. I just do whatever it takes to win, whatever they call me for, I'm willing to do. So, that was really my mindset.
11 catches, how much have you really worked on that part of your game and now seeing the results of that? How much have you, how you've grown in that department?
I think I've always been, been able to do that. It's just opportunities. I think they trust me a little bit more to be doing a lot more stuff. So I appreciate them for letting me do that. Yeah.
As that game was unfolding and the Giants kept taking the lead, come back and forth, did you feel like you were gonna get a chance to pull it out like you did? Did you just give me the ball one more time? Let's get the ball one more time.
Yeah. I always trust our defense to get a stop, and I think what happened, I forgot. But when we get the ball, first or last, I always have the mentality to score, and we always say in the huddle, let's go get one, let's go take this all the way down, and this is what we did.
So big in regulation when it goes to overtime, first play comes in, they're calling your number. Just kind of explain what's going through your head. Do you think that's a chance to break one right there when you know that it's possible that could be the...
Oh, well, Saint, he told me to score, so I was listening to Saint. He told me to score. So, yeah, he said, score. I was like, bet.
What is that feeling, that thought when you get into that third level and
the thought?
Yeah, what are you just thinking to yourself while you run? Is it just out outpace that safety, or do you know you have him? I guess what were you just thinking when you cut in the open there?
I mean, I pretty much knew I had him. I just had to, run. So, yeah, really not too much thought into it.
When do you know you have it? How much separation do you need? Because you're not looking back to see the 3 defenders we see chasing you, but when do you know it's gone?
I don't know. I mean, if I'm running at him and he hasn't moved yet, then, really just I don't really think it matters. So I mean.
Did you see where guys?
No, I just seen him. So, yeah.
Jamir, I don't know if you think about it, but do you think about where you stand amongst all the running backs in the NFL right now? Your numbers keep climbing, receiving and rushing. Do you think about that, where you stand?
I mean, as a competitor, people always check where they're at during the season. I don't know where I'm at right now, though, so, yeah.
But, I mean, you think your ability is as good as anybody's?
Oh, yeah, for sure, yeah.
In other words, how much this team needed this win this afternoon?
Yeah, it was a must-win. I think the next, I don't know, 6 or 7 more games. Yeah, 6 or 7 more games. We got as a must-win, so we need to, keep going.
You're having a game like you were today. Is it like a flow state? Do you ever feel like you feel different? Or I guess I don't know how to explain that. But
I don't know. I mean, I don't really know. I mean, I guess I'm not really thinking about it, so I guess you could say that. Yeah.
It's locked in.
Tight. Yeah. Like Steph. Yeah.
When it came to the way Dan was calling plays today, do you feel like this was maybe back to your guys' core personality?
Yeah, we ran the ball a lot more. We were very, very effective today in that, in that aspect. So, I mean, shout out to the O-line and Dan trusting us.
The game winner was that 49-yard touchdown. It was pretty impressive, too. Broke a few tackles. Can you kind of give us your perspective on that play?
Wait, which one?
49-yard touchdown.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, I was just running, and I think one of the corners tried to punch the ball. He didn't really try to tackle me, so I just ran through it. And
where this team is in the standings, how competitive the division, that whole NFC picture is, to start this 3-game homestand off with a win. What does it mean, and how vital are these next 2 games to try to take back control?
Yeah, very. I mean, the NFC hooping right now. They're doing a really great job, so we just got to do our part and, keep winning and finding ways to win.
When it's Bates' time to kick it off.
Guys, your prior success has put you at the top of the power rankings list. That's a good thing, right?
Well, just means you've gone from the underdog to the favorite.
But those expectations come from prior success, so that's okay.
What about Cure? Where do you guys rank on the power list?
Actually, we just got named by Forbes as one of the best car insurance companies in America.
Now you're the favorite.
Guess we have a lot in common.
Go Cure.
Go Lions.
Cure Auto Insurance. Drive well.
Detroit Lions Live is brought to you by Cure Auto Insurance. Log on to cure.com to see how you can save. The Jared Goff, Amon-Ra St. Brown connection got off to a little bit of a slow start here, but it picked up in the second quarter with St. Brown's touchdown, 11 yards. He'd finished the day with 149 receiving yards. We talked about this earlier, Lomas. It felt like those were a little bit quiet. Only 1 touchdown for St. Brown, but that's because Gibb was doing all the work in the end zone.
No, you're right about that, Danny. And this, again, it seemed like Jared got back to finding his security blanket, which we always knew was Amon-Ra St. Brown. The guy's just masterful, 1, with running routes, but 2, always being able to find the right spot to be in, and on crucial downs, too. So it was just great to see him get back in the mold of being the Amon-Ra St. Brown that we know and we come to expect. Him, Jared, that connection, that chemistry that they have, I think is second to none. And look, second receiver to get the 500 receptions in his career, only tied with Michael Thomas. So it's just elite company that he's in, and I expect him to just continue to get better and better.
Yep, 500 in year 5 for Amon-Ra St.
something.
Brown, and on par for another 1,000-yard receiving season. He'll hit that pretty soon here, knock on wood. Let's go defense. Aiden Hutchinson, he finally got home in overtime on that 4th down play to throw Jameis Winston into a tizzy and seal this game. What did you see from Hutch and the pressure he was able to generate?
Yeah, it was great to see Hutch getting back there in the backfield. I thought the offensive line from the New York Giants did a pretty good job for most of the game. But again, if you keep getting at it, finally they cracked. And they couldn't have cracked at a better time, like you said, in overtime, last play of the game, to get Jamison down and make sure that we got that victory. So it was great to see Aiden, the rest of the guys. Again, Roy Lopez is another guy that steps out. Aleem McNeil is another guy. These guys are playing, I think, very good ball up front. They slow down the run, and they get after the passer, and that's what we're going to need them to continue to do while we're dealing with injuries in our secondary.
At the most important time,
yes.
Aiden Hutchinson shows up for the
Clutch.
defense. Linebacker Jack Campbell continues to be a staple on the defense in that second level. Oh, you love him so much, Lomas. He finished with 11 total tackles on the day, 1 TFL. What did you see that impressed you?
Look, Danny, if he doesn't have double figures tackles, I'm disappointed because it seemed like every game he's having double figure tackles. And again, he is so great at filling the hole. He's always playing downhill. He always seems to be in the right spot where he needs to be and when we need him to be there. The other thing about it, think about it, the responsibility that he has of lining guys up because he wears that green dot. So he calls the plays on defense. He has to make sure these guys are lined up. And sometimes that's hard when you got, again, guys coming in and out because of injury. So just so proud of the way he's playing, especially being the young guy that he is. He's really taking grasp of this defense, and he's taking this defense to a whole nother level.
Campbell, year 3 in the league, eclipsed 100 total tackles this season. He is just relentless. Someone else who has to be relentless in this league is safety Thomas Harper. You never know when he's going to get his shot. He got one today, and he showed up. Fourth quarter interception that gave the ball back to Detroit. Now, they didn't capitalize on it offensively, but it did shake things up for Jameis Winston, who didn't look uncomfortable for most of the day.
Great point, Danny. You're right. And that's what gets me a little nervous there. I give Jameis Williams a lot of credit because he played well today. And most teams, against most defenses, that's a victory today. But again, coming up with the timely interception, coming up with the timely sack, I think it will stop them from winning this game today. And like you were talking about, Thomas Harper, another guy that's been in and out of the lineup, I thought he did a great job. That was a great interception that he came up with, a timely interception, even though we weren't able to convert that into points. But anytime you could take the ball away from the opposing offense and stop their momentum, it does well for our team. So these guys, the Legion of Whom, these guys are coming up with big plays, seem like each and every week.
Second career INT for Harper, and he just watched Jameis Winston's eyeballs to perfection and came up with a big-time pick. Quarterback Jared Goff finished the day 28 of 42. He was sacked 3 times. You know, we saw some improvement from last week in Philly. There was a whole lot of disconnect along the offense. Where did you see improvements made today?
I thought Jared set his feet, Danny, and I thought Philadelphia did a great job of making Jared move around and not being able to set his feet. That was because of the pressure, the hits that they were able to put on Jared Goff. I thought that the offensive line did a much better job today of keeping him clean. And anytime you could keep Jared clean, he's one of the best quarterbacks in this league. The other thing that really helped Jared was the run game. We know everything is set up off our run game. So anytime we're able to run the ball effectively, then the play action pass becomes a big play for us. Screen plays become a big play for us. So again, our ability to run the ball is what makes Jared Goff goes. And once you get Jared going, it's hard to get him off his spot, or it's hard to rattle Jared. And that's the other thing I love about him. Smooth operator, Danny. Smooth operator.
Yep, he is poised and calm, and 237 rushing yards on the ground doesn't hurt his chances of operating this defense well either. QB1 is standing by at the podium. Let's hear from Goff.
That just left. I mean, just the lift that he gave the offense, the big plays, you know, that he can deliver.
Man, yeah, that dude's as good as they come in our league, and he's
making his claim across the league as one of the best players, regardless of position, and we're lucky to have him, man. He's so electric, and for him to be able to do that, to supplement some of the struggles we were having was awesome.
What kind of energy does it bring a team when you have a guy like that?
A ton of energy, and you can tell the fear in the defense. You know, when the ball gets in his hands, the way they rally to him, and then certainly when he gets to the second level on some of those longer runs, like you can feel the safety, the angle they start taking, and it's a good feeling for us, and it's hard for our defense.
You always talked about trusting him as a receiver.
Yeah.
How has that grown? Maybe even more.
Yeah, just more and more reps, and we had some more stuff in for him that we didn't get to today. But he's doing a great job learning these routes, getting better at these routes. His hands are as good as they need to be, and yeah, he does a great job out of the backfield. I probably went to him a couple too many times, honestly, on some of those balls to the sideline. But sometimes, you know, you're playing quarterback, you're trying to be a point guard, and he's the hot hand, and I'm just trying to kind of, if I'm in between, just kind of get it to him, and again, probably one or two too many times.
Who does as much as he has done? Is he as unassuming of a star or low key? Like he barely says much when he talks to us. I don't know how he is with you guys, but
no, he's not. Yeah, he's normal with us. I don't know. He talks to us, and he's great. Yeah, he's a great player. He's a great worker. He's a great teammate. He does everything right. Works his tail off every day, and we're lucky to have him.
Overtime play that Amon-Ra said, "Go take this and score." Can you take us in that?
Say that again.
The overtime play, that Amon-Ra said, you're going to go take this and score.
Did he say that? Yeah.
Can you take us in the huddle, just what you heard or what you thought?
I didn't hear him say that, but I think, it's just duo, the run play. It's everyone runs it, and he's dang good at it at duo, and we were running it behind Panay and Tate, and they're really good at that deuce block up to the backer, and it's been a good run for us, and that's not the first time he's taken that same exact play to the house. So, yeah, when it came in the headset, you never know with him.
I asked Jamir the same question of when he is about to run that, when he can tell how much he's got it to the house, because he's not looking back at the defenders closing in. From your perspective, when can you tell he's got it?
Yeah, I think I said this before. I got the best seat in the house. It's really cool, and I think I put my hand up. He was about 7 yards down the field. It's just you can see the angle he's about to take and the angle the safety's at, and it's over. And that's what makes him so special is that next level speed. And 24 on their team is not a slow player, and he's not. He's a really fast player. He's a really good player. And Ja ran away from him a couple times, and it's just he's got a different level.
that team was 2-9 coming in, and they certainly didn't play that way. Do you just have to accept that's how it is, or did they even surprise you how they came at you?
No, we said that all week. I think I told you guys on Wednesday they've played everyone tough, and they played us really tough, and had a few moments there where it could have gone out of hand, and we kind of held strong on defense, made a play on offense, and I think they played well. I think you got to tip their cap. They're not a bad team. I know their record says that, but they play hard.
Four offensive linemen questionable for this game. They've been dealing with some stuff, but to have 250 rushing yards, whatever, just talk about the way they've just maybe battled to
Those guys are a rare breed. They're battling right now through some stuff, and they don't want your sympathy. They're just going to put their head down and work, and I'm proud of those guys and thankful for them laying it on the line for me and for the backs every game.
I don't want to make too much of one win, but how much did you guys need this, or how important was it to win the way you did too?
Yeah, it's important to get the W. I think regardless of who we're playing, what their record is, to finish the game and get the W that way it's a way we haven't won yet, like in overtime, and kind of having to claw back and get that W. I think it says a lot about kind of catching that momentum and trying to get on that train and get on the right foot. And I think, not to go sidetrack here, but there's a lot of plays that I wish I had back that maybe would have allowed us to get a lead a little earlier in the game. And we'll look at those critically, and and it was good to get a win.
Obviously, y'all got to shift gears really fast. Obviously, with Thanksgiving, you become part of the tradition. Just playing in this game the last few years. How do you approach this game so quickly, turning from that to that, especially going against a tough opponent like Green Bay? Yeah,
you start watching it tonight as soon as you get home and get to work. And I think our coaches are probably on their way to the facility right now to get to work themselves. And we're used to the tradition of this. We've played Green Bay in this game before, so they have some familiarity with it too. And division game at our place, Thanksgiving, everything you want, and they're a great team, and we'll be ready.
Jamir said that he doesn't like starting overtime with the football. How do you feel?
Say that again?
Jamir said he doesn't like to start overtime.
Yeah, I think ideally in the new rules, you'd like to have it second so you know what you need. But when we score on the first play, I'll take it.
I agree. I think we're taking the ball first
yeah.
all the time now in overtime.
With a
That was some
weapon
good
like
juju.
that, yeah, I mean, with a weapon like Jamir Gibbs back there, yes, you do. You take the ball. And I like that, Danny. One play, 69 yards. I'll take that.
I love it. When it's all said and done, all three phases of this football team came together and got this win. From the game-tying field goal to the game-winning rush from Jamir Gibbs to the game-sealing sack by Aiden Hutchinson. You told me you're never going to apologize for a win.
You don't.
What little improvements can Detroit make before they take on the Packers here come Thursday?
So, Danny, I see penalties. They played a big part, you know, both offensively and defensively against us. So we definitely have to clean that up. And I would love to see the offense become a little bit more efficient. I don't know what we finished on third down today, but I know they want to be a little bit more efficient that way. And you always want to try to put up touchdowns rather than field goals. So again, it was great to see all three sides of the balls come together today. That's what Dan Campbell has always preached. That's how we win games, by playing complementary football. So hopefully we could clean up those little things. And look, this week is going to be a mental week. You can't do too much physically because we're just coming off this game. So everything those guys are doing and work on to be more mental this week, hopefully you hone in on the small details and clean those things up.
42% on third down today. That's an improvement.
Yeah.
Let's keep the choo-choo train going into Thanksgiving Day. The best day out of the entire year in the Motor City is when football and turkey legs come together as one. Detroit will host NFC North foe, the Green Bay Packers. Already lost one game to the Pack in week 1. Now they have to bounce back, get a little revenge here today. Packers took on the Minnesota Vikings here, and they made J.J. McCarthy's day miserable. Sacked him 5 times, picked him off twice. What are you anticipating from round 2 with the Packers?
So again, I think this is one of the marquee games coming up because this could be right for first place, depending on what the Bears do. This could be for first place in the division. So this is a big, big game, especially for us because we already have one loss to that team. So and I call them that team. But we have one loss to them, so we have to make sure we come out with a victory. You always, Danny, like you say, it's such a tradition here, Thanksgiving. You always want to try to win on Thanksgiving Day game here, Thanksgiving here. So they come to us. Hopefully, we can make Jordan Love a little uncomfortable, slow down that run game of Green Bay because, again, they're built similar to us. I think we're getting better and better as the year go on, and you want to be playing your best ball of the year come this time of the year. So it's going to be a big, big game come here in about 4 days?
4 days.
4 days it'll
Goodness
be here.
gracious.
So hopefully the crowd will be bringing it, and like I say, hopefully we'll come out with that victory.
Bears squeezed out a win today over the Pittsburgh Steelers. So they're 8-3. They're atop the division. Detroit will need a win and a Chicago loss next week to tie for NFC North for first in the NFC North. So it's a big game. It's a big game for Turkey Day in Detroit. It's a big game for the NFC North. All right. For Lomas Brown, I'm Dannie Rogers. Thanks so much for watching the Detroit Lions Live postgame show presented by Kier Auto Insurance. The final from Ford Field, Detroit 34, New York 27 in extra frames. This was a good one. We'll see you right back here inside Ford Field in 4 days. Happy almost Thanksgiving.